Hey everybody, welcome to my 5-day spring cleaning challenge where we're going to learn how to reduce our toxic load in our homes, basically detoxing our homes from nasty chemicals and synthetics that basically contribute to making us sick and, you know, kind of attack our immune systems. So that's what we're here for. Welcome. My name is Cindy LeBlanc-Richard, and I live in coastal New Brunswick, Canada, with my husband. And we have a food business here. So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a small business owner, and I'm a food professional with a certification in holistic nutrition. And so we have our food business here, and it's also a catering business as well as a consulting business where I work with people who have food allergies and are on special diets or need a little assistance in food. So food's kind of my thing, but not only food, but when we talk about holistic nutrition, we talk about all of the things that affect us that we can absorb, whether we're eating it or breathing it or putting it on our skin. So that being said, there's a whole we could do a whole class basically on the food end of this. But today and this week, this whole class is about spring cleaning. So it's basically about our homes, and we're gonna tackle that part of it. So let me introduce myself again. I'm Cindy LeBlanc-Richard, and my story basically is that I started with essential oils and holistic nutrition. Well, I just went back to school a little over a year ago, but I started trying to find more healthy avenues because of my own bout of autoimmune disease, which started when I was 14. I was diagnosed when I was 24, and I was in and out of doctors' offices for basically the last 30 years with a few procedures, but not really any assistance, right? Didn't used to be a lot of education out there. There's a heck of a lot more, and I'm so grateful for that, and that's why we're here today. And so, I was never really helped. I always felt that I was one of those cases that I just couldn't be helped, and I was always sick. And it's one of those diseases that are, it's the silent disease, and there's a lot of chronic pain, and there's a lot of issues. So I went the conventional way for a long, long time, and they always wanted to put me on some kind of pill or some kind of hormone. And I was actually very blessed because I had a doctor who I'd say for his time was like a naturopath of his time in a regular conventional practice. So I'm very grateful for that. He really took the time to think about prevention rather than just, he wasn't a pill pusher, right? In fact, he would be very clear with my condition, and that I should really stay away from those types of things, such as hormones and synthetics and whatnot. So I always kept that in the back of my mind when doctors would want to give me like narcotics and pain medications and steroids, and so that's a whole realm on itself, and I'm definitely not a doctor. But what ended up happening was, I just kind of got fed up at not being able to find someone who could really give me any answers. And so about 6 years ago, I found myself at a crossroads in my life, and I decided to make a big move. And I moved back to my home, the home of my ancestors, where my parents were born and raised, and that is New Brunswick, Canada, French New Brunswick, Canada. And ended up meeting my now husband, best friend, and we ended up buying my ancestral home that my great grandfather had built in 1913, and we were renovating that house, and things were really good, and I kind of put my health there on the back burner, and things were going pretty decent. We ended up getting married, and we started this idea of opening our own food business here at the ocean, and so we were in the midst of doing that. And ironically, I had decided, I had been wanting to and decided to go back to school for holistic nutrition. And so I was already on that path, and had started using essential oils and trying to detox my atmosphere. And so I had ironically already been on this path. And then all of a sudden, through the middle of all of this stuff going on, I got really, really sick. I got so sick. I had crazy, crazy acute eczema all over my body. I seemed to be reacting to everything. Food, things would just, I had eczema everywhere pretty much all the time, but like I would have these massive flare-ups just after eating food. It really seemed that way, right? But I'm just so confused. This is new to me. And I remember now looking back, I remember using a facial cream with a new product, something, maybe, I don't remember what it was, retinol, and having massive contact dermatitis on my face. In fact, I have pictures. I'll try to find that. And just reacting to everything, seeming to have allergies and brain fog, and just being absolutely exhausted and nothing really making sense. And so of course I ended up going to the doctors, who really didn't have any answers for me except, well, it's quite a rash you got going on there, and that's eczema. And so, well, what causes that? Well, it could be anything, especially stress. Everything is stress. And I get it. Stress is horrible for you, but no, actually things are going pretty well. So, finally, I ended up seeing another doctor. I went to go have blood work done. And gratefully, he asked me some questions. He really didn't have any answers for me either, but he asked me a few questions, and in the manner that he asked them really got me thinking, and is really what gave me my light bulb moment as to what was happening to me. So mind you, my immune system is already on fire, right? I already have an autoimmune disease. And so on the ride home that day, I remembered that following winter. So this is springtime. The prior winter that we had just had, we had a massive nor'easter on the coast and at the ocean that can be pretty rough sometimes. And we had some damage in our roof. The wind had literally brought up a corner of our house, and we had experienced some water that had been coming in. Now, mind you, we fixed it, but lo and behold, I had that light bulb moment that there had been more damage than probably previously thought. And I went home and put on a mask and had a hammer. Probably shouldn't have done that. Don't do that. Call a professional. But when you're at that stage, I called it bitchy itchy. Like, I really thought it was crazy sometimes, but I was crazy. I was ready to find out. So I did, and I opened it up, and there it was. It was black mold in our home. And so basically, excuse me, I have an itchy nose. Yeah, basically, we had to abandon our home. It wasn't plausible for us to fix, and it was pretty devastating because we had already put in so much effort and so much design into that house, trying to renovate it. But ultimately, we had to leave that house, which was devastating, of course. That being said, even though I had removed myself from the toxic situation, my body was, my immune system was shot. And that's mostly where people are at, no matter, regardless of what their ailment is, right? And so it's so important to eliminate. Elimination is probably one of the biggest things when it comes to being healthy and supporting our immune systems in a natural manner. And eliminating the things that are making us sick is number one. Everything else is extra. It's the next step. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Basically, we're not going to touch really on the food end of it. We do touch a little bit about some basic information, but that's a whole other class in itself, like I said. So yeah, so it'll be 5 days that we'll be together. And so today, basically, we're getting to know each other, and we're going to talk about exactly what these toxins are that we experience in our homes every day, that most of us are unaware that we're basically polluting ourselves. And we're going to have a little bit of homework. And then each day we're going to do a section of replacements and learning how to do things by using household products and all natural products, and which is very cost effective. So we're going to touch on a lot of information this week. So that's why I kind of broke it down into 5 days. Plus, everybody's busy, so we want to give everybody an option, the chance to participate. So that's why it's a 5-day challenge. So we're going to switch over to a little slideshow, and we're going to follow along with the information there. So let's do that. Okay, so just a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I am not a medical professional. So my protocols and my advice and these products that I'll be talking to you about are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So everything here that we talk about is intended to supplement and support your health and wellness, because that's most important, right? And so what does it mean to be toxic? Well, pertaining to, affected with, or caused by a toxin or a poison. So toxins are everywhere, and they're definitely not they're not very good for us, right? So, or causing unpleasant feelings. That could be an example of a toxic relationship. There's so much toxicity around us. So that's why we're here. We're going to learn how to get rid of all of those things. Well, not the relationship part, anyway. All right. So how are we affected by toxins? In the air, aromatically, in the air that we breathe. So mold, that was my issue. And then we deal with autotoxins every single day. Smoke, smog, pollution, and then everything that we add to it. So all the synthetic fragrances, the perfumes, the cleaning products, the bleaches, everything that we use daily, pretty much, right? All right. And so topically also, so we find in our bathrooms, the things that we put on our skin every day. Our skin is our biggest organ, right? So it takes 20 seconds for our body to absorb things that we put on it. So we really should be more aware of what we're using, and a lot of us are not. In fact, it's not helpful that the companies, there's laws that prevent them from even needing to tell us what's in them, although that's changing. So okay, and then how are we affected by toxins internally? The things that we ingest, eat, or drink. So we know that that is food, and that, like I said, we're not really going to talk about that today, but we hear it all the time, the pesticides, the GMOs, all of that. It's everywhere. It's a whole nother class in itself, definitely one that I am looking forward to doing, and I'm hoping that you guys will all jump on and join me for. Okay, and so what are essential oils? Well, they've been around forever, really. They're naturally occurring volatile aromatic compounds found in plants. And they're really, really concentrated. And they are powerhouses, really. And they're so multi-purpose. And so we're just touching on it today. We're not even really going to talk about it today, but so that's what they are. There's so much more to it. And so why would we use essential oils? Well, they're going to help us to reach our goal. They're going to help us reduce our toxic load. We're going to utilize them in our lifestyle and stay away from the chemicals and all the synthetic products. And we're going to use something natural. And that is what essential oils are. And that is why they're so great. And there's just so much to learn with them. And so here's your little pyramid, and we know, right? And so essential oils are definitely not all the same. You see them everywhere now, which another reason why I feel like it's so important for me to have these classes. because they're everywhere. And so don't buy it from the pharmacy. Don't buy it from Walmart. Make sure that you're getting a good therapeutic essential oil. And so the ones we're going to be talking about are certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, and that is what we want to look for. Okay. All right, so that's just some basic information about toxins and how they affect us in our homes each day, and we're just touching on the essential oils. So we're going to get going with the essential oils tomorrow. We're going to talk more about them and what they do and all the wonderful components of an essential oil. So it's all inclusive. So this is, like I said, it's a 5-day challenge. It's a course, and we're going to learn so much this week. I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the week, and I'm going to pull a name from all of the participants from the week's course. And I'm excited about this one. This is a good giveaway. I'm only going to tell you tomorrow, though, what it is, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about a topic in particular that kind of coincides with the giveaway that I have planned. So also, I'm going to try to keep these recordings under 30 minutes because I know everybody's busy, and as I am, and so it's giving me time to get it all in a shareable format that I can share with all of you. So that's basically it for today, although I do have some homework for you. So, and this is where the participation comes in for this secret giveaway that I'm going to tell you about tomorrow. So I would like you to go into your cabinets and find your favorite cleaning product. The one that you use the most, the one that you favor. And I'd like you to go onto the back, into the ingredients list, and find 5 ingredients. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ingredients in the bottle, whatever the product is, that kind of frighten you a little because you do know what they are, maybe, or because you don't know what they are, or because you can't pronounce it, maybe. And write them down. And then I want you to go and Google it and find out what it really is, what those ingredients really are. And then I'd like you to find one, the one that stands out to you the most, and I'd like you to post it below here in the group. Tell me what it is, the name of it, and what its ulterior use is, or what it really is in the world. And I'm curious to see. This will be interesting. So this will be the start of our homework for the week. So I hope you enjoyed this little beginning of the course. I'm really new to this. Thank you for sticking by me. It's awkward. I'm sure I'll get better at it, but I'm enjoying the process. I hope you are as well, and I'm anxious to get all this information to you. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a good evening, and make sure you do your homework. And ta-ta for now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.